The late 20th century saw the birth of a digital frontier. From that frontier emerged a man whose vision reshaped how the world buys, reads, and even dreams. Jeff Bezos, a name that has become synonymous with scale. Retail with Amazon, rockets with Blue Origin, and NASA projects. In a ferocious court defense against Perplexity, Bezos sued the AI company in 2025 over its Comet browser agent, accusing it of secretly logging into customer accounts, placing autonomous orders, and disguising bot activity as human browsing. But at the same time, Amazon is improving their Alexa devices with better AI and commands. This creating a whole new line of products built with custom AZ3 chips to run large language models. Plainly said, a smarter, more conversational Alexa that feels less like a gadget and more like ambient intelligence woven into the home. This is the story of a builder who turned a garage into a global empire. And a question that still hangs in the air: how much power should one pioneer hold?
You can buy anything at Amazon.com, from books, music, shoes, and clothing to a battle tank. Amazon is the most successful online retailer in the world, and still run by the man who created it back in 1994, Jeff Bezos.
Jeff seemed to realize that being the singular place where a consumer can find and buy virtually anything that's available in the retail market was a critical part of the company's growth strategy.
The public image of Jeff Bezos is of a superhero entrepreneur, and he is that. If you look at his life from the very beginning, he's taken risks, and he's solved problems, and he's created billions of dollars of wealth.
Jeffrey Preston Bezos was born in 1964 in Albuquerque, New Mexico. His mother, Jacqueline, was a teenager when he was born. His biological father left early in his life. When she remarried, her new husband, Miguel Bezos, a Cuban immigrant, legally adopted Jeff. As a boy, he loved taking things apart: radios, engines, toys, anything that moved or clicked. He spent summers on his grandparents' ranch in Texas, repairing windmills and learning discipline under the wide desert sky. From a young age, he spoke about colonizing space and saving Earth by moving heavy industry off-planet. Science fiction wasn't fantasy to him, it was a roadmap.
There was a company in Houston that had loaned excess mainframe computer time to this little elementary school. None of the teachers knew how to operate this computer, nobody did, but there was a stack of manuals, and me and a couple of other kids stayed after class and learned how to program this thing.
At Princeton, he studied computer science and electrical engineering, graduating with highest honors in 1986. His early career took him to the world of finance, where algorithms were replacing instinct. By his early 30s, he was a senior vice president at D. Shaw & Co., one of Wall Street's most innovative firms. There, he discovered the internet, growing at more than 2,000% a year. Bezos realized it wasn't just a network, it was a revolution waiting for a business model. To seize it, he would have to give up security and take the biggest risk of his life.
Jeff Bezos was actually recruited into a hedge fund named D.E. Shaw, and he didn't want to work in finance. He actually wanted to work in computer programming. But D.E. Shaw is a computer programmer, and the hedge fund is sort of built around algorithms and the type of technology that Bezos is interested in. He came upon a statistic that just astounded him. He saw that the internet was growing at 2,300% per year, and he just became obsessed with this number.
He could see that there was this technological tsunami that was arriving, that was going to disintermediate, that was going to create new distribution channels, reset economics, change the way we bought and sold. And the question was, which domain shall we apply it to?
The answer was books, a commodity for which no comprehensive catalog existed. In July 1994, he quit his secure Wall Street job to pursue his dream: to create one of the world's first online bookstores. His first investors? His parents, who he talked about with the Academy of Achievement.
You know, my dad's first question was, what's the internet? Okay, so he wasn't making a bet on this company or this concept. He was making a bet on his son.
In the summer of 1994, Jeff Bezos and his wife Mackenzie headed to Washington State, armed with $300,000 from his parents.
By 1997, Amazon went public. Investors doubted its survival. Analysts mocked the idea of selling everything online. But Bezos insisted, "We're not in the book business, we're in the customer service business." In 1998, Bezos told his story in Lake Forest College.
I found a house that could serve as the first business, and it had a garage, and it seemed the right thing to do since there's a history of startups and garages. And this wasn't fully legitimate because it was a converted enclosed garage, but I considered it somewhat legitimate because it wasn't insulated. Those were not impressive offices.
As the dot-com bubble burst, competitors vanished. Amazon barely survived, but its culture of frugality and data discipline hardened. The company learned to run lean, analyze everything, and bet relentlessly on the long term. From books came music, then electronics, then everything. In 2005, Amazon Prime launched, turning fast delivery into loyalty.
I think if you're Netflix, you're looking at Amazon and really sizing them up as a competitor. Amazon has a lot of traction online. They've got deep pockets to buy just as much content. They're at the very beginning of this kind of effort, but in time, Amazon could grow to be just as big as Netflix.
And it did. Amazon reports that Prime Video's ad-supported tier has over 315 million monthly viewers globally as of November 12, 2025. On their side, Netflix has around 301.6 million paid subscribers globally. Behind the scenes, engineers were building infrastructure so efficient they decided to rent it out. That experiment became Amazon Web Services, the backbone of the modern internet. Within a decade, Amazon was no longer just a store. It was a logistics empire, a cloud host, and a habit millions could not break.
What was different about Amazon was that Jeff ran it right. He was organized, he understood distribution, he understood how to motivate people to buy. He did things with great attention to detail.
Get big fast was both a mantra and very much a strategic decision on Jeff's part. Everything had to be on steroids. All growth had to be on steroids.
By the end of 1996, the company reached $15.7 million in sales. The gains were boosted by Amazon's ability to offer tax-free shopping to most online consumers.
What makes us different is vast selection, convenience. We deliver right to the desktop, and also the fact that we're the broadest discounters in the world. We discount over 300,000 titles, basically the best-selling titles. That's twice as many titles as the largest physical bookstore even offers.
And Grow came, and it came in really fast. Amazon's net value was estimated in $265 trillion as of November 2025.
On May 15, 1997, the stock began trading on the NASDAQ stock market at $29.25 a share, nearly $12 higher than its offering price.
The day of the actual IPO was a very big deal. There were, parties all over the company, and Jeff addressed us, over the speakerphone from New York. Jeff was telling us on the phone, we've made history today. You have all made history today. It was pretty damn exciting.
Amazon diversified. Alexa, Echo, Prime Video, streaming wars, and $1 trillion valuation. By 2018, Bezos became the world's richest man, a title both admired and resented.
There was a lot of risk that was taken on by the company during those early days, and I think there was a lot of speculation around whether or not that was the right thing to do. It's easy now to look back and say, of course, Amazon needed that capital and they needed to invest at the rate that they did in order to achieve the scale that they now have. That was not always clear from day one.
What was clear was that Bezos was unstoppable.
Bezos went on another small revolution. The Kindle, the first of its kind, appeared on November 19, 2007. Amazon has never disclosed, even today in 2025, how many Kindles have they sold over the years.
No one today knows how many Kindles there really are out there. It's a guessing game. We know that there are millions, but how many millions? But it's strategic for Amazon, obviously, because that's what they do. They keep a lot of information close to the vest.
The shoe fit. But his cash cow, the Kindle, was about to get some very serious competition from a tech giant.
And we call it the iPad.
On January 27, 2010, Apple launched the iPad, also designed for use as an electronic reading device. Bezos responded aggressively by cutting costs and adding new features to his e-reader.
But not everyone was happy with the Kindle revolution. What erased the borders of editorials and book business was not good news for other companies. Many voices inside the editorial sector raised up against the latest Amazon novelty. One of them, bestseller writer John Grisham.
We're going to get to a point, if a book is worth $10, okay, whether it's a discounted hardback at Amazon or an ebook sold by Amazon for the Kindle, if we're at $10, okay, then suddenly the whole industry is going to change. You're going to lose publishers, you're going to lose bookstores.
Today, Amazon has changed the industry in so many ways and employs more than 145 million people worldwide, one of the largest private workforces on Earth. From Seattle to Singapore, fulfillment centers hum 24 hours a day, orchestrated by algorithms that measure every package, every movement, every second. Employees describe a place of sharp contrasts, world-class innovation and relentless metrics, opportunity and exhaustion side by side. In response to criticism, Amazon introduced wage increases, safety programs, and worker education benefits like career choice, which pays tuition for new skills, even if those skills lead elsewhere. 2 decades after the garage days, Amazon's culture remains a paradox, a fusion of machine-level precision and human ambition, constantly recalibrating what work means in the age of scale.
Jeff Bezos made a lot of large bets, and not all of them paid off. The company didn't profit for many years in the beginning. The reason Jeff Bezos got away with that and benefited long term is because he was always very direct with employees and stakeholders in the company.
On March 6, 2003, he chartered a helicopter to scout property in a remote region of southwest Texas. He was looking to buy up ranches for a venture he had started in 2000 called Blue Origin. Blue Origin is a technology company whose purpose was to develop vertical takeoff and vertical landing rockets for human space travel.
For Jeff Bezos, space was never a childhood fantasy, it was a blueprint. Decades before he built Amazon, before the cloud, before the global empire, the boy from Albuquerque spoke about a future where humanity would live and work beyond Earth. A future where heavy industry moved off-planet and Earth itself became a protected garden world. In 2000, long before billionaires and rockets became a cultural flashpoint, Bezos founded Blue Origin, quietly, methodically, almost in secret. Its motto, Gradatim Ferocider, step by step, ferociously, described the company and in many ways described him. Blue Origin operated for years, maintaining a low profile, working behind closed doors and keep it under wraps. Blue Origin's approach was slow, deliberate engineering. No live-streamed explosions, no dramatic countdowns, just years of testing in the Texas desert, building reusable boosters and perfecting a capsule designed to bring humans safely above the Kármán line. The company achieved its first successful uncrewed launch and vertical landing of the New Shepard rocket in 2015, demonstrating they had a key reusable rocket technology. And then, in July 2021, Jeff Bezos stepped into the very machine he had spent decades imagining.
In 2003, Jeff Bezos almost died in a helicopter crash. It's sort of a pattern where he can go through something difficult like a .com crash, be philosophical about it, laugh it off with his big famous laugh.
Unlike space exploration ventures bankrolled by private backers, including Elon Musk, Richard Branson, and John Carmack, Bezos is obsessive about keeping his efforts at Blue Origin secret.
For a variety of reasons, it's pretty secretive. And I think, actually, from the point of view of the space industry, that's sort of a pity. What makes a good market is when you have a bunch of competitors openly competing and they try and position themselves against one another, and the market's visible, they compete for money, they compete for people, and so forth.
The New Shepard rocket lifted off under the morning sun. Pure vertical ascent, a clean burn, a textbook trajectory. Inside the capsule were alongside Bezos, the rest of the crew floated weightless for roughly 4 minutes. Through the windows, the curvature of Earth, thin, fragile, impossibly blue. In the years that followed, Blue Origin kept building. The powerful BE-4 engines, the massive New Glenn rocket, a cargo lander for NASA, and plans for Orbital Reef, a commercial space station designed for research, tourism, and manufacturing. Bezos' space ambitions are not driven by speed or a race for headlines. His goal is infrastructure, the pipes, engines, stations, and supply chains that would make space accessible not just to the wealthy, but to entire industries. Jeff Bezos' journey into space was more than a personal milestone. It marked a turning point, not only for Blue Origin, but for the entire constellation of companies shaped by his vision. His 10-minute flight on New Shepard didn't just lift him above the atmosphere. It reframed the way he looked at Earth and the empire he had built upon it.
Oh, yeah.
Here on Earth, Amazon's headquarters in Seattle are really eye-catching. The spheres are a central feature of the campus. These 3 glass orbs house an indoor rainforest for employees and visitors.
Amazon.com remains the world's largest online retailer.
He's not just a visionary with visions. He's an architect with blueprints and some notion of how to make things work. He thinks very carefully about design and structure and operations. And that's what turns a visionary into somebody who actually accomplishes something.
Of course, AI has arrived at Amazon too. And in these modern times of using AI for almost everything, companies are fighting each other to protect themselves from unwanted advances. Amazon is accusing Perplexity of committing computer fraud by failing to disclose when the tool called Comet is shopping on a real person's behalf, in violation of Amazon's terms of service, according to the complaint in San Francisco federal court.
This is an interesting move. We've covered Comet and Perplexity on the show. We understand Amazon. Just, I think, start by explaining the grievance that Amazon has and the accusation Amazon's making against Perplexity and what they're doing.
So Amazon says that what Perplexity is doing here is masking who's on its website, right? They've alleged that Perplexity inserted sort of the same code that would make Amazon systems think it was just a regular Google Chrome user, when in fact it was an automated agent going on their site. And so Amazon's raised a whole host of concerns, saying account integrity could be compromised, saying if someone has to make a return, who's at fault, what goes on here. So it's basically kind of a turf war over the customer experience on their retail site.
Okay, we've heard from Perplexity, both through a spokesperson, but they also put out their own commentary on a blog. Summarize it for us.
So they're accusing Amazon of bullying. They say they don't see a meaningful distinction between a user who has said, listen, I want to purchase something on Amazon. I'm going to authorize Perplexity to go, make the computer plumbing that makes that work. They say that's no different than someone navigating with a mouse and keyboard, right? Obviously, Amazon has a different view, but Perplexity seems to want to take a stand here and kind of stick up for this new potential commerce venue that they're deploying with their Comet browser.
Right. You cover Amazon so deeply. Like, is this the playbook Amazon goes to? Are they typically litigious? Are they looking over their shoulder in a real way?
I think they really are looking over their shoulder here. I mean, they've said AI is going to change everything. There's debates going on right now about what is a browser. And so this is probably the first of many debates that we're going to have, in public and in private as these companies negotiate on just how, who owns the experience when agents are, going all over the internet rather than individual users with hands and eyes.
Really quick, what happens next?
Oh, we'll see if they settle, right? And I don't think anybody wants to see this go to court and all this nasty discovery come out, right? So I think the obvious question in a case like this is, can they come to some agreement?
But Amazon is also using AI to expand itself. The e-commerce giant has unveiled an updated line of products to take on Apple in the artificial intelligence era. Bezos and his team are including new Echo devices, Kindle scribes, Ring cameras, and Fire TVs, all designed to integrate with its new generative AI assistant, Alexa Plus, to compete with Apple's AI ecosystem.
Panos, the way that I look at this is that this is the first generation of Amazon hardware that has your fingers on it, right? And as a place to start, could we talk a bit about the hardware innovation, the areas that you feel are most important here in this generation?
Yeah, I think this is first, it's an incredible team that's building these products. And these products are designed from the silicon up. Quite literally, this is custom silicon built for the Alexa products. But there's also a focus right now on the sensing capabilities, from the camera to the microphones to just presence detection through Wi-Fi. It's really important because you can start enabling these proactive scenarios. The other thing is great sound. Like, Ed, is so important for our customers. like just filling your house with sound. I think sometimes we forget the emotion of music or how clear you want to have that conversation back and forth. So each one of these details is kind of thought through. These products are built from the ground up, but this team has just literally pushed through every detail.
I think about this at a time where we are in a voice assistant or voice-based generative AI era, right? As you know, I have an Alexa device in almost every single room of my house. But when I think about the Gen AI tools
which is
that I'm
cool,
using,
by the way.
Right, it is. But here's the thing: the Gen AI tools that I'm using every single day, I go to my smartphone because it's on my person. There isn't something that the Alexa device can do with the same immediacy. Maybe you disagree that my thumbs can do. So what is it about this generation of hardware that makes those form factors, the Echo devices and the range of other things, the right form factor for this era?
It's a good question. It's a good question. First, the new Alexa Plus is powered by AI, so it's LLM backed, if you will. So limitless knowledge, limitless understanding, and you can have any conversation. It's quite conversational. So when you talk about what you're typing into a phone, one of the things I like talking about is maybe even a little easier now, Ed, because you have all that kind of infra, you literally can just speak. I call it we as a team call it ambient AI, and we believe that your Echo devices right now, as you light them up with Alexa Plus, just have any conversation at any time. I think there's something quite powerful about that too, where a lot of times we take out our phone, we get distracted. I'm at the dinner table with my kids. We have this idea that we want to keep our phones down, right? Because we want to be present with each other. And there's so many times where you pull out your phone to answer a question, almost like you just said. But now it's just changed. It's completely different. Just say Alexa, have the conversation. It's quite literally all the information there, and it's conversational. Not only that, she can then get the next thing done for you. Let's say you have a conversation, you want to talk a little bit more about what's happening and what do we think about what's happening tomorrow. You just add it to your calendar right there and then, just with your voice. It's distraction-free, it's ambient, and it's so fun because you're just engaged in a totally different way with your voice, just as you said.
Alexa Plus is listening more contextually. It is listening more intelligently.
Yeah.
How do you build trust with the customer and consumer base, knowing its capabilities?
We've been doing it for 10 plus years. This is what we are 100% focused on for our customers. At the end of the day, the way you do that is you give your customers full control. Opt in, opt out. Remember what you want. Just literally control your data for yourself. Plus everything to Amazon is anonymized, so we don't really have any info. So at the end of the day, it's up to you and what you do with your product. And I think that's what the answer is. You give customer full control, and we do. We're very proud of that. Like, that's a big deal for us.
Panos, is there like a generational divide in the Alexa user base? And how does this generation of hardware change that? In other words, is there just a group of people in society that are going to come to AI-enabled devices for the first time here? And if so, for what reason?
We do think so. Well, a couple of reasons. One, these are objects, and they're beautiful. This matters. Like when you buy something, it's something you covet, something you wanted and you go after. Because it's so useful and it can get so much done for you, and it has that depth of knowledge, we do think there's a whole new customer base coming in for Alexa to go use Alexa Plus. That's why these products were designed. And maybe to your first question, like thought all the way through, including how it fits in your home or how it fits in your apartment, where it just seamlessly fits in. And then with the beautiful sound that comes off of it, that elegance of just contextual understanding, combine those things and you end up with a whole new category of device for people, which then leads you to a whole new customer set. I'm pretty pumped about it.
Panos, Bloomberg's Mark Gurman has written, and it's based in part on a conversation with you, that Amazon's overhauling its devices to take on Apple in this AI era. Do you agree with that?
I haven't seen it, Ed. Can I say that? Let me read that article. Here's what I'd say. We build our products for our customers and for people. My whole goal is quite simple. We want AI to be useful for people. End of story. And I think we're building devices to do just that. And I do believe they're beautiful. I think they fit in the home. I think they're so well thought through that when people use these devices, Ed, they're gonna love them. They're just gonna love them. This is something I just want people to get their hands on them.
the way that we could look at this bigger picture is that the Echo family, at least, has always had an element of affordability. And I know that you also want to look broader at premium products too. So how do you balance the signature premium while keeping that sort of historic affordability of what Echo has represented to date?
You essentially build products for every customer. That's how you do it. Like, we have products that start at $49 and can go up to $499. And you know, you can think about price point, but then you also think about feature set. We want everybody to have that great experience, but they can do it at the price point that suits them best. And you know, at that point, when you're able to kind of encompass, then you know, you have something for everybody. That's really a big deal for us, and we'll continue to build not only affordable products but also beautiful products. And we in essence, we wrap that in a package and we just say we just need to make great products for people.
Panos, how many people are paying actively for Alexa Plus, and how many of them are using it just through their Prime platform subscription or entitlement?
We're not quite there yet, Ed. We're still in early access. So in early access, nobody right now is actually paying. They're just using it. We're getting the feedback. We're seeing incredible engagement. You know, we have over 10 million people have access to it right now. It's pretty awesome, though, to see how they're using it. But right now, because it's in early access,
so I go back
we're not charging.
I go back to the root of my question, which is on the hardware innovation, right? The choice that a consumer will have is the need to pay $20 a month for Alexa Plus. They might have older generations of now obsolete Amazon hardware. Is upgrading to this new generation absolutely necessary to access all that Alexa Plus has to offer?
Absolutely not. You can, we designed the product to work back to products all the way back to 2016. And so that is like a 99 or so % of our customer base right now. Ed, this was really important point. If we're going to have ambient AI where people can just talk to Alexa Plus anywhere, it wasn't about just replacing products. That said, the new hardware is awesome, and we really do want people to experience the next generation of it. These products are faster, they fit seamlessly into your home, the sound is amazing, the microphone's amazing, the sensing is amazing. And so to really get the best experience, for sure, the new hardware leads you there, and that's what today was all about. But I also want to tell you, like, this is all about customers and doing everything we can for them, and part of that is making sure that they have access to Alexa Plus in their homes right now if they choose to.
If it's about the customers, now that you've had some time in this role, and I know you think so deeply about everything from supply chain through to the product itself, the in-house work on silicon, we've been over that. But is there a pressure to make this device's business as a division profitable, or is it not necessary if there is some bigger picture goal here?
Yeah, no, it is about, well, first, there's a lot of different device businesses, so you know, but also it is about making, creating the next big business for Amazon, and we see that growth and we're pretty excited about it.
The newest Kindle Scribes features are designed to compete directly with Apple's iPad. Many creators and readers are excited about the new possibilities this device opens for them. This redesign allows users to write with a touch that feels like writing on paper, says Amazon. This new Kindle also works as a notebook and has an active canvas that will create space for the user's notes. A perfect tool for readers and professionals who want to keep all neat, tidy, and organized, and still want to read while they commute to work or go on about their day. Amazon's strategy is mainly focused on integrating AI into its broad range of popular devices to make the AI features feel natural and seamless in users' everyday lives, a direct challenge to Apple's AI advancements. While critics call him detached, chasing ego and legacy, admirers see discipline, method, and vision, the same traits that built the world's most efficient company. In truth, he may be both.